and welcome, Ayush. Thanks a lot for connecting with Pagal Guy. Through this interview, we are looking forward to understanding, your journey with UBS so far, Universal AI so far, and what made you choose MBA.
So actually, I was quite interested in doing MBA since my engineering. I hail from Bhopal and I did my schooling from Bhopal only. And later I moved to SRM University, Chennai to pursue my engineering in IT. So IT as a stream demands for MBA as the next step in career, according to me. So since my engineering, I took all the electives of management only, and that helped me quite well to move on with my MBA. And obviously, CAT was the exam to go for the MBA. I gave CAT, I got decent marks, got offered by different institutions. But what I, as a professional, was looking in this institute was three things from me: two degrees in two streams at the same time with two different institutions collaboration. Why? Because I didn't wanted to lose my specialization in IT, but also I wanted to use my knowledge of IT in marketing, as I was very interested in marketing as a stream. So I chose the Cardiff program at UBS. Why? Because I got an MBA from Cardiff plus a PGDM, that is with accreditation equivalent to MBA in India, that too from UBS. So that was the perfect program fit for me, and hence went ahead with Universal Business School.
Got it. So, Ayush, usually when we have students, who we interview, our main objective is to always understand the perspective of the students and, the kind of experience that they are having while they are enrolled in these various programs. Now, we understand that MBA is not meant for everybody. And specifically, when you're
True.
talking about Universal AI's MBA and the kind of specialization they offer, they're very meticulously detailed towards specialized learning. So, what
True.
made you choose the degree that you are currently pursuing and why Universal AI?
Sure. So first I'll talk about the degree I'm pursuing, the program, and then later the university. So my program is called Cardiff plus GMP program. That is Cardiff degree with a general management degree in India. So the GMP degree, that is called PGDM with AICTE accreditation. It is valid in India and it is considered as equivalent to MBA. And the same degree is offered to the students by IIMs also. And there's another one which is called a Cardiff MBA. It's 1 year degree, and it offers few courses of the specializations, not all, but that itself is very much to do, because the evaluation criteria of Cardiff is totally different. So me being from an engineering background, I am quite interested in academic writing and research. And it's very exciting to know that all the exams that Cardiff holds are research papers. You have to write a research paper for an exam, and that might get published in a reputed journal. Our campus has a partnership with multiple journals also. So that can result into a research paper going straight into your resume. And that is very good. Coming to the college, so as I told you, three things. First was the two degrees at the same time. Second thing which I spotted was that it was the only college that were holding live classes during COVID also. That shows some commitment towards your students. Even teachers were living in the campus, and it was the only MBA institute that I found that was still holding offline classes. And the third reason was a very strategic one actually. So the market was slightly shifting towards SDGs, CSR, ESGs, these new concepts. And it's very hard to find an institute except for TIS, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, which is centered towards these kinds of values. And I found UBS, obviously the first green campus in India, focused toward focused towards SDGs and all the concepts which I found. So it was the best fit for me instantly. And I was one of the first signees at UBS of my batch. I signed up in January only. I wouldn't wait for CMET or these kind of exams because I knew that I found my perfect match.
Got it. So, Ayush, when you speak about going for a degree, one of the crucial element that the student has to go through is the selection process,
True.
and GDPI being one of them. Could you help us with your experience going through the GDPI, the selection process at Universal AI, and do you have any advice for the students that are currently preparing for this year to who aspire to be at Universal AI to pursue your MBA degree?
Understood. So, ma'am, first I'll talk about my experience and later I'll move on. So, my experience actually, I was suffering from COVID, and suddenly my call came for Universal University. So it was my dream institute. So I was working quite hard for that. So thankfully I got it. What the rounds were, the qualifying scores were taken from the regular exams like CAT, CMAT, NMIMS, and MAT. So these kind of scores are valid to get into UIU. After that, the second round was it was quite different from a regular group discussion. It was called a boardroom discussions. So first of all, we were given a single topic and a group discussion happened. After that, we was split into different rooms on Zoom only, and in those rooms, different discussions happened. And there were two rounds of such discussion, and it was very insightful for me also. It went on for about 90 minutes. It was a long round, and you had to speak a lot. One of the most important thing in MBA is communication skills. And if you are not able to convince and communicate your own idea or your own business to somebody else, then what use is MBA? And I think that skill was quite hardly tested there. After that, moving on to the interview, there was no delay. On Zoom only, we were thrown into separate room. And then came my interview. My interview was taken by Inder Pal sir, who is a very reputed faculty at UBS. He is the head of skill development. So uh, you know that a faculty or an experienced person out of those 60 CXOs which endorse our institute are taking those interviews. So it is very serious. And for the first time in my life, I gave an interview for about 45 minutes. He asked everything, and I have a 1 year break between my engineering and my MBA because of a medical issue. He inquired all about that medical issue also, because the college is quite remotely located. Hence, getting medical supplies which are specialized for your cure is not easy. So he asked about it also for 10-15 minutes. So that really I liked that concern, and that instantly made me okay. If this goes well, then I'm going to this institute.
Got it. Do you have any advice for students who are preparing for the selection process this year? Anything that
Yes, ma'am.
they should be considering in order to increase their chances of getting selected?
First of all, ma'am, I think doing two degrees at the same time, if you are planning for a multi-program or a foreign exchange program, it's tough. It's not easy. So you have to go ahead with multitasking. Uh, get a good knowledge of AI tools as you are getting into a AI university. The pace of work is quite high, so you have to match it up. And another thing, as I said, strategic decision making is very important, because I had a certain angle of getting towards SDGs so that I can get into SDG consulting, even in the consulting industry. So you have to be that specific with your knowledge that this is my aim and I have to pursue this when as soon as I get into my MBA institute. You are putting a good hard earned money of your parents, and you should realize that you have to make the most of it. And I can explain the whole journey of UBS in just one line. Opportunity does not always knocks on the door, but when it does, at UBS you have to grab it with full hand.
Got it. So Ayush, you have aced the selection process. You're already into the course for more than 6 months now. If I had to ask you in terms of industry exposure and in terms of overall growth, do you have any specific experience that you could share with our audience that would help them understand how UBS is helping students connect to the industry and also in their overall development as professionals?
Sure, ma'am. So About industry experience, we have regular HR symposiums with where we have discussions with the HRs of the company. We have lunch with them. So it's quite a nice, unofficial but professional environment to interact with the HRs. One of the professional ones which I find really interesting was CMAPs. So the full form is collaborative multidisciplinary aptitude and problem solving. So it's a basically project which is given to students. You have to approach companies on your own. That means that you have to generate leads basically and get your team of 6 people who are from multidisciplinary domains, like two from finance, one from HR, two from marketing, and collectively form a functional team and approach the company that if you have a problem, we will do the consulting for the problem and we'll submit your report with the solution in 18 days. And 18, firstly, why would a company come to you? Secondly, it in 18 days, it's not enough for the company, and you are saying that you will solve the problem for the company. So it's really interesting to get those wheels first because you have to contact your professors, build up a good network on LinkedIn. So I have now, like when I started UBS, I had 150 followers on LinkedIn. Right now, I have a network of about 1,500 people. That is the weightage which you get at UBS. So I did my CMAPs at Flares of Consulting Group, and they are a offshore on-site company, and their main offices are in US, and they are the market leaders in US of right-of-way softwares. So obviously, software development company, what will we do? We found out that they didn't had any talent development wing or any learning and development division. So we contacted our professors of HR department, and according to their problem, we drafted a brief L&D department for them that they can execute instantly. And my guide also helped me to draft that, and our team also did very well. And finally, they implemented that L&D system, and they are doing very well in the market. So this is an experience which you cannot get anywhere else. You will get a summer internship of 3 months. That is all you get as a professional experience in most of the colleges. Whereas here you get the chance to do two CMAPs, two yearly conferences of research and case study, and one SIP, that is summer internship. If that is not professional experience, then what it is, I don't know.
Got it. So you actually gave us a very detailed understanding. I think that is one aspect that students very readily miss out, is to understand what beyond summer internship is an institution doing in
True,
order to
true.
get that industry connect, in order to get that industry exposure. So thanks Ayush for sharing these insights with us and helping our audience understand UBS and Universal AI a little bit more. Uh, Ayush, so you spoke about the professional advantages that Universal AI is offering, which is tremendous. Uh, but we also know that as you progress towards leadership roles, as you progress towards leading companies, one aspect that plays a very important role is the personal development, your personality
Yes.
development, and development of an individual on how you can deal with people, right? Because businesses are made of people, we have to interact with people on a day-to-day basis. How has Universal AI's MBA program helped you in developing your leadership skills and in general understanding to connect with people?
Okay, ma'am. So first of all, a very great question to ask, ma'am, and it will take a time for me to answer. So first of all, ma'am, I think leadership is something that you are not born with. You have to develop it. As like I am clearly saying, till my engineering, I was a follower. Whatever my seniors instructed me, I did, and I was very fine doing that. I got good grades in engineering also, and I was hoping for the same in MBA also. But when I came to Universal AI, if you know, ma'am, we have people from 27 states of India. So there is no possibility that you will not encounter a situation where you will get awkward initially, right? Because if you have a group of friends and you go there speaking in Hindi, And if there is someone from southern India or someone from northeast who doesn't understands your language, you have to switch it immediately until and unless you realize that they are not understanding. These the kind of situations are very normal in corporate environment also. When you are doing cracking foreign deals and doing transactions with external parties, these are very common things which can happen in a corporate environment. So first of all, you have to deal with it and polish it very clearly. That gives you a trait of personality of adjusting and negotiations instantly. Moving ahead, ma'am, about the question, I would say leadership is very valiantly displayed in UBS because we have more than 20 student-led organizations running in the college. And we have four communities and about 18 clubs that are completely led by students. Obviously, we have one patron guiding each club, but they are mostly for the signing authority and MIS. All the other things are done by students, even the fundraising and sponsorships of the events. So I am quite fortunate to be the president of one of the club. I am the president of Universal Innovation Club, and it is the most legacy old club of UBS. It was since inception, so I can quite detail I can tell you that it is very hard to get into UIC. We have a three-round process, including a case examination where we disturb you with a lot of music and I don't know what. So each club has its speciality. That there is a club called Matchbox, which does marketing for all the events. There is a club called Phoenix that does finance. There is a club called Ethics in CSR. If you are interested in CSR, you can go ahead with Ethics in CSR. And these are just clubs. Now we come to communities. Communities, international UN certified communities like Enactors, Gala, they are there. We hold TEDx yearly on yearly basis, TEDx UBS. So that is also a big event to shine. Also, we have our fest, yearly fest that is called Rush for Rush. You can go into that team and crack yourself and get a leadership position instantly. Also, like we have a huge array of events in UBS. Every third day, according to me in UBS, there is an event going on where someone or the other person is leading. So I think you have enough chance to go there and do leadership firsthand and analyze your failures and do leadership again. For me as a president, when I was a junior, my seniors told that you have to draft your own event. The best event will win the project manager post. I drafted a event called Innovathon, which is currently flagship event of my club. So these kind of opportunities, being a project manager at the age of 21, 22 is something very great, according to me. So this fosters leadership a lot in people. Moving on to personal development. Personal development is actually related to all the things, be it co-curricular, extracurricular, or academics. Focusing on academics initially, there is a rigor of academics at UBS, obviously, because when you are studying for two degrees and doing 180 credits instead of 40 credits in PGD, it's huge workload. But uh, the time bounding and the time management which the management teaches you initially through workshops. See, we seniors take workshops for the juniors to explain them how to match up with the time. They give you immense knowledge of time management. A basic thing that is used in corporate a lot called Gantt chart. Making a Gantt chart in Excel is the first thing taught in UBS to a student for managing time. So these are very small things which create a leader out of you. And there's a saying on our t-shirt that we are the future CEOs. So I think that is quite understandable.
Wonderful. I guess that's a very great, innovative perspective to things, because if you have "We are the CEOs of the future" written on your t-shirts, I think there is no other goal below that students should be chasing. So
So much.
thanks, Ayush, for for sharing this really insightful uh, take about your degree with us. So, Ayush, as you mentioned, there are a lot of activities that are going on at Universal AI and at UBS. And there's a significant amount of academic commitment, there's a significant amount of overall co-curricular related activities going on. There are clubs, there are events. This could at times be overwhelming and could at times be a bit tedious for one to handle. How do you deal with this rigor of curriculum, this demanding schedule? What is your go-to move in order to avoid burnouts?
Understood. So, very nice question again, ma'am. My go-to balance theory is that when I am committed to club, like I have an event in next 2 3 days, and I have an exam also in next week. What I'll do? So obviously, exams are something that come initially through the academic planner. So my advice would be take notes in the classes, give your full concentration in the classes so that you grasp everything right then and there. There's no like only the book or ratification theory that goes on throughout the colleges in India in UBS. So as we say that we are a universal AI university, I think you should know how to use AI to your power and get your work done in a very minimal amount of time. We have regular presentations in the class of every subject. We have three components: an assignment, two quizzes, and a exam in midterm. After that, end term also. So there are four evaluation components, and out of that, only midterm and end term are written. So I think rather than that, you can use AI to uh, reduce a workload a lot. Something like Gamma.ai, which is very easy to make presentations, something like ChatGPT, Gemini. These are all taught. So I am using these words initially, but these will be taught in the institute. So no need to worry for that. So that's the one of the most important thing is that the institute itself is taking care of you and telling you that how to use these hacks to get better than the system. So I think these kind of things give me a better time management and time managerial skills than many people in the industry. And also, I think that the commitment and the circle which you have is very important in UBS. I've seen people who were doing great initially, but as their circle goes haywire, they also go haywire. Stress is something that happens a lot. Fortunately, we have a club for that also called Wellness Club that handles our wellness, takes care of our birthdays and wishes us happy birthday on the admin lobby in the TV. We have gym and we have a whole array of games. Like I like to play piano, so there is a piano kept in the admin lobby which I played regularly for 2 years, and hence I am known as a piano guy of UBS also. But these are different activities through which you can burst your stress out. Obviously, academics can be rigorous sometimes, but when you feel that rigor, you have other activities to subdue it also. There is an amphitheater which we call Plaza where movies and songs are always playing. You can just sit there and vibe. Or if you find a friend who has a guitar and plays it well, you can go ahead there and play and sing there. That also that we call a jam, basically a jam night. That happens also quite regularly. Movie nights are also quite regularly happening. So you don't have the like consistent stress of academics and club activity.
Got it. So before we take a leave from the piano guy of UBS, I would like to have one last question, which is my favorite question because I usually like to ask every student. And the challenge is you can answer it only in 10 words. You cannot go beyond that.
Okay.
So how has your journey been with Universal AI so far in less than 10 years? 10 words.
I would just say sincere and awesome. Two words.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Ayush. Thanks for connecting. You have shared wonderful insights that are definitely going to be really helpful to all our audience, our readers, as well as our viewers in terms of understanding what UBS brings to the plate when it comes to career advancement. Thanks a lot. Thank you for giving your time. Have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Same to you. Take care.